Hey guys, so this week me and Quinn are going to be doing our coming out stories. This week will be mine and next week will be hers. Mine all started off in middle school, or actually I would say elementary school. I was originally dating girls, actually I dated 5 girls. I always just had this weird feeling and knew that there was something about me that was different. I spent most of my time around girls and I just always hung out with girls, but I never really wanted to I never felt attracted to girls. When I was dating them, I still felt like they were my best friend. And that's one thing that I considered when I was figuring everything out. I was like, okay, maybe, it's just, I just don't like the girls that I'm dating. So I tried dating more and more, and everything was just, nothing was making sense. And then it came to the age where I started to hit puberty. And I would just see guys and when you're attracted to someone, and I would just have that feeling. Or I would see celebrities and I would be like, okay, they're attractive. So I started to realize, I like guys a little more than I thought I did. This was a hard thing to come to terms with for me because I didn't understand it. I never was around anybody that was like that. And it was just okay, this is something I have to figure out. It's gonna be my life. So then I would say around 8th grade, one of my friends came out to me as gay, and I was like, okay, that was something new to me, but I never cared. I never judged anyone. I took this to myself, and I thought about that for days, because I'm like, if someone had the courage to come out to me, then I should have that same courage to come out to them at the same time. I was thinking about it for days and days, and I was like, you know what, I'm at least going to tell this one person how I'm feeling because maybe they can offer me some guidance. So I tell this person that I think I'm bisexual, and that's originally how I came out to my friends and my mom, actually. I tell this person that I think I'm bisexual, and they're like, okay, that's cool, and that was it. So I was like, if this isn't a big deal to them, why is it such a big deal to me, and why am I struggling with it so much? One of the reasons I feel like I was so conflicted over this whole issue was because all throughout middle school I was bullied, and people would, just call me gay or just yell things at me, or just say things that didn't need to be said for no reason. And this stuck with me, and I was torn about it. And I think mentally I was telling myself that it wasn't okay because a lot of people didn't think it was okay. So the first family member that I told was my mom. So the night that I was going to tell her, I had already told about 5 of my close friends that night, and I was feeling really good. And on the way home I was like, you know what guys, I'm going to tell my mom tonight because I was feeling really good. I was going to tell her that I was bisexual because that's what I thought at the time. So I get home and she's in her room watching TV, and normally I go in and I say hi or say goodnight, and so this night I went in and I kind of just sparked up a conversation, but I was pacing back and forth in her room, and she kind of noticed that something was off, and she was like, why are you pacing back and forth? So basically I was just like, I'm not, and I kept pushing it off, and in my head I was like, I need to do this now or else I'm never going to do it. I finally, just suck it up, and I was just like, I'm bisexual. And my mom was like, okay. She was like, how do you know? And I just started explaining everything that was going on in my head, and what I was going through growing up. And she's completely fine with it, and she said, I will love you no matter who you love or who you want to be. So that for me was kind of reassurance that I can be who I want to be, and that gave me a lot of strength. The next few weeks I was just thinking a lot about who I am and who I really want to be with, and I actually realized that I like guys way more than I like girls. I realized that I didn't like girls at all. I actually was gay. So at the time I was seeing a therapist, and I was talking to him about this, and I was just like, you know what, I just think I like guys, and that's it. That's who I want to be with at the end of the day. So my therapist was gay, and so he went through the same things. He knew about my struggles, and he helped me a lot. So my mom would come in at the end of the appointments to check in, and like we would all talk, and I liked that because it was kind of like I could say what I want to him, but I could also tell my mom how I was feeling, one of the closest people to me, and it was just like a good thing. So I say to her, I'm like, you know what, like, I know I told you I was bisexual, but I really don't think I am. I think I'm gay. And so she was like, okay. So I know there comes to a point in like most gay people's lives where they think about like coming out to everyone. And it's like one of the scariest thoughts that I've had in my life. And, you know, I thought that it would change everything with everyone. With a few people, it did, but those people I don't care about. It's like, if you're not going to accept me, then whatever, it doesn't matter. Throughout my work with my therapist, I started to write a post that I was going to post on Facebook to come out to everyone. When I originally wrote it, I had a lot of anger in my heart because I was just so mad that people could bully me and I could let it affect me this much that I'd be scared to tell people who I want to be with. And that was just something to me that was like, it was a struggle. My original coming out post was very angry and very it just wasn't good. It was more like of an attack to people who didn't accept me than actually coming to terms with who I am and letting people know. It's something I didn't realize, and I read it to my therapist, and I also read it to my mom. And they both said, like, it wasn't a good idea to put that out there because it was like, I was just fighting people for not liking the fact that I'm gay, instead of saying I'm gay and that's it. So I come up with like a new post. The post that I posted on Facebook on June 23rd, 2015, which was the last day of my sophomore year of high school. I said, "Hello everyone. So I'd like to stop you for a minute from scrolling down your newsfeed or timeline to tell you something. Tell you something that is not news, however it might be news to some. I am gay. I always was gay, always will be. I want this to be known so I don't have to hide anymore. So I don't have to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm just now starting to accept myself, and I just attended the Pride event in Boston. It gave me so much confidence. People were worried about me doing this, but I'm not doing this for anyone but myself. I'm writing this to give myself the satisfaction of finally saying that I'm proud of who I am after years of not even wanting to accept it myself. To my family, I love you all and hope you can accept me for me. And I'd like to say a big thank you to each and every one of my friends and family who have supported me along the way and have helped me out with getting the courage to write this. If this post in any way offends you, unfriend me because I don't need ignorant people in my life anyways." Well, anyways, that was it. That was a huge thing that I've been waiting since like 5th grade to do. So that was the new post that I made, and I felt like that one was more strong, it was more powerful, and it was something that I was proud of, and I would hope that people would be proud of it too. So I posted that literally like an hour after I got out of school, sophomore year, on the day that summer started. Because, I don't know, I just felt like it would be easier, that I didn't have to face everyone, I had some time to take it all in, the response. So I actually got a better response than I thought. I was getting notification after notification, people were messaging me, people were calling me, people were commenting on it, liking it, just showing a bunch of support that really helped boost my self-confidence and like show that people are accepting, and that's what really matters. But anyways, the day that I posted that, I also was seeing my dad for the first time since I told him. I actually texted my dad, and I told him because I was scared to face him face to face. It's not that he was bad to me during childhood or anything like that. It's just, there was something about telling my dad in person that made me so scared. I don't know what it was, but it was just a feeling that I hated. I felt as if he was the one person that I didn't have the confidence to tell. So I texted him like a week or so before I came out to everyone. I texted him and I just said, "I'm gay." That's it. He never responded. So this was something that made my nerves go even higher. I was like, wow, how is he just not going to respond to a message like that? So I ended up finding out like a day or two later that he called my sister, he called my brother, and he called my mom. He was trying to figure out if I was joking. He was also trying to figure out how I knew. And he didn't understand it. And I understand that because not everybody knows someone who's gay and just understands it right off the bat. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt. And so the next time I saw him, I was so nervous. Getting in the car, I was like, oh God, it's gonna get brought up one way or another. So I basically just said to him, did you get my text? He said, what text? And then I told him what it said. He said, I thought that was a joke. I said, no, it's not, it's true. And he basically said to me, well, you don't really know, you're probably just a little confused, like, you've never had sex with a girl before, whatever. I don't mean to like bash him because I understand like he was in shock and he didn't know what to say, and he, at the end of the day, he cared more about what people were gonna say to me than me being gay. So as time went on, he began accepting it more and more, and we never really truly talked about it, but it was more like I introduced him to one of my boyfriends, and he was fine with that, and he was nice and everything. So I think his initial response, which did affect me, wasn't meant to affect me the way it did. I think he was just trying to protect me in a way that he doesn't know. Another reason I was so scared to come out in high school is because I went to a male-dominant high school. It was a vocational high school where a lot of guys went to pursue a trade, which obviously there was a lot of girls there too, but it was just like the whole school was just full of toxic masculinity, basically. So I was just like, wow, I'm gonna have to face these people after I come out. Never did I ever think that all these people were gonna actually support me and be there for me and accept me. And while some people were a little, annoying about it, most people were very accepting about it. There were a few times where I had like homophobic teachers or homophobic substitutes. I was just so nervous being in that environment. But during high school, after I came out, I started experimenting with like feminine clothes. I started wearing clothes that sent a message. I wore a sweater that said gay okay on it. In school, where somewhere where I wasn't even going to accept myself or come out. So I was very proud of myself for doing that. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you love, what you wear, or who you go to sleep with at night. All that matters is that you give no fucks and you're proud of it.